Alrighty. So now we're going to get into a bit of fun. And now, guys, if you have questions as we go, just ask. It's going to be much easier to answer them as we go through everything. Because what we're going to go through is a bit of strategy, a bit of tactics, and then give you guys some actual resources you can take and apply straight away. So this session is all focused on how to make more money before Christmas. Would anyone like to make more money before Christmas? By show of hands. Cool. No thanks. Got too much. Too much monies. All right, so what we're going to cover in this session is we're going to go through a little bit of recapture and reallocation, a social media strategy, email strategies that work, and then a bonus strategy as well. If you guys want it, you can take it. If not, you can leave it as well. But as I said, we're going to go through everything. I'm going to give you guys resources. If there's anything that you want that I don't have here, just let us know, and in implementation, I'll get access to you guys straight away on that. But these are all things that are implementable straight away. You could implement them every single day up until Christmas if you wanted to, and beyond. So the first thing that I want to go through is a little bit of overarching points. Like, what is people's psychology at Christmas? Do you guys think?
Well, what people think is I don't want to spend money before Christmas, but they actually will.
Yeah? Anyone else? What else do we think?
I want to get everything kind of wrapped up and lined up so I can just chill.
Yeah, wrapped up, lined up, chill. What else?
I think there's a separation from a high performance perspective. I think there's a lot of people that have already moved beyond Christmas and are thinking about quarter one, quarter two, and like their annual plans. So I think those people are actually easiest to work with at this time because they're already growth focused. For everybody that is, I guess, not a business owner per se or an aspiring one, they tend to be a little bit more reactive at this time and have low impulse control, and it all just seems a lot. And if you've got kids as well, it's like there's recitals and end of year stuff, and just there's a million things going on. So I think there's really just different distinct markets. And if you're doing it like Jack said, retail, it's fucking crazy right now. So
yeah.
It depends on the individual person and where they're at and what's going on in their life. But on the whole, there's
yeah.
Some people already switched off till January anyway.
Yeah.
Just starting January. I'm too busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. All those things pop up and more. As Cal mentioned, like retail, this is the busiest time of year. Online, I even saw someone I was chatting to, Ryan, about it, like a really well-known email copywriter was saying, after this weekend, being like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, he's like, just nurture people through till January. Like, highly unlikely you're going to get any deals across the line. People are not buying, blah, 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 blah. Which in my personal opinion is not the case. And my personal experience is not the case. Yes, this year might be slightly different due to cost of living crises and things like that, which I'm wholeheartedly have seen and have experienced myself, so I know what that's like. But the big thing that I've seen is not that people don't want to spend money at this time. I looked at the stats yesterday from Finder, and it was over $30 billion is going to be hypothetically going to be spent this Christmas, which is actually $3 billion more than last year.
Wow.
So last year their prediction, and pretty close to, 27 billion. So even though there's a cost of like living crisis and things like that, there's going to be $3 billion spent more. So all of this money is floating out throughout the economy, which means there is a possibility to be able to catch some and bring it in. But what I have found is that the biggest thing in December is that people don't want to do it. They will buy it, but they don't want to do it. They're happy to buy, happy to invest, happy to do something, but they want to, as I said, we've got Christmas parties, we've got this, we've got that, we've got kid stuff, family stuff, like all these things going on. As long as they can take action upon it in January, it's absolutely fine.
I've seen Andrew with the big teeth
Yeah.
in, I don't know, what's his last name? Tate. I think it's Tate. That's fast. Adam. Is it Adam? Adam Hunt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not Andrew, Adam. Yeah. Andrew Tate. You can call him Andrew Tate as well. So he just launched a coaching program recently, and he did something which was quite clever. It was like, hey, sign on board now, and then you get the rest of the year for free, right? And we just launched a coaching program literally this week, and I've just said to people, you don't have to pay anything until January. So sign on now, I'll coach you to the end of the year for free, but you don't pay anything until January. Obviously, we get credit card details to sign a contract now, But everyone's like, oh, fantastic. Like, and then they're not even showing up on calls. But it's like, oh, I'm delaying that. I'm making the decision now. I get the rush of that, but I don't have any real pain of doing anything now, which is the win. It's like, if you want to take it, if you don't.
Yeah, 100%. And because people like to, as soon as they take action, it feels like they've already moved towards the thing.
Yeah.
I signed up for my free trial at the gym, basically ripped now. Pass me another pie.
500 kilo shoulder press, eh?
Yeah, exactly. 553 kilo shoulder press this morning, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, overhead, one push.
I've also found that some people who feel like they haven't taken enough action are like, oh, I have just enough time to like do something, and I don't feel like this year has been an entire waste of my time with me procrastinating. So they're like, I have enough time just to do something.
Exactly, and that's why, as I say, is like this is the time. Like Black Friday for me is like a warm up period, like leading to that. Then I think it's like that's the push time, and Dan Martell calls it separation season. It's like the time for you to separate yourself out and push yourself out from everyone else. Like this is the time, and it's like I'm still gonna have a great fun December, but I'm also gonna have a huge push here. Yeah. And I'll go to you next.
I'm sure Dean will touch on this tomorrow, but I think the question you asked before about what's the psychology, I think it matters more what's your psychology before Christmas, because we talked to our guys about this yesterday. It's like, hey, you have to decide when you're finished for the year, but don't decide. Like, don't not decide and then just coast into December and then nothing happens. If you're finished on the 18th, then you work to the 18th. Because if you get on a sales call, or if you're writing email copy, or if you're probably not even fucking launching ads if you're not in the mindset of, oh, no one's doing it. So I think it's about getting clear on where do I want to be at, and if you want to coast and enjoy the rest of the year, do that. But like people get lost in no man's land, and then they either don't get the benefit of rest, or they don't get the benefit of actually making something happen because they're already sort of tapping out before they've even got started.
Exactly. They sit there and stress themselves out about not doing anything, but they still don't do it. And they're like, oh, such a stressful time of year. And it's like, not really if you just take action either way. Either be on holiday or go for it.
Yeah.
On that as well, sorry to jump in, but Ash and I were in Dubai earlier this year, and this was in April. So this is when cost of living pressures, the interest rate, we'd had, I don't know how many interest rate rises here, right? Back to that. And so everyone was talking about that. There was such this negativity about everyone struggling. And then you go there, and it was just an unbelievable amount of money. An unbelievable amount of people that are just obviously just gave no fucks about the cost of things. And it's just refreshing to realize that actually cost of living pressures don't affect everybody equally. If you're a single mom and you're on Centrelink, you're fucked. But if you're someone that's already doing very, very well, and your cost of living means you increase your profits anyway, like the banks have had the greatest record profits in the history of banking this year. And so there are some people in every market that are actually thriving, and there's a ton of people that are not. But I think maybe that points the picture of, well, who's the target market within the target market you want to get? Because if you listen to everybody else, like everyone's struggling. Actually, not everyone is struggling. Like some people that are in this room are absolutely fucking thriving this year. It just depends on who you're trying to reach.
The same. I went to Singapore for the F1, and we stayed at a hotel that was owned by like one of the sultans of like Brunei or something like that. And literally every day there were ladies just coming in with like bags and bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of stuff. Like they've been shopping, and I'm seeing this and it's like all the Louis Vuitton, Hermes, all that sort of stuff. And they were going crazy. And I'm like, yes, there is always going to be people that will be struggling. However, there's also equally people that are thriving and pushing and wanting to do better. So to that point, it's like if you decided, again, if you want to have a break between now and January and go hard, then by all means. But if you want to push and go hard, I think equally as much you should have as much opportunity as you want there as well. Jacob.
I was just going to comment on, and it kind of latches on to Black Hawk Calvin was just saying, is like looking at the year and kind of breaking your messaging, not just as a business, like figuring out your offer and being like, hey, what's my messaging? Like, what are the words I use? What does my target niche use as their words? But looking at like the macro events of the year, and we help our clients do this every December, is looking at the next year, or more importantly focusing on just before Christmas, start of December 1st onwards, of what messaging can we use to segment our market, like Calvin is speaking, and pull out the people that will buy now. And I think as a business owner, it's really empowering to think that the words you use attract the people that you're going to get into your ads and yada yada yada. And so figuring out in Christmas, well, not everyone's going to buy right now. Some people in fitness, right, are going to want to wait until next year. But who wants to start now? Let's talk to just those people. Let's figure out those people. And so using your messaging at the right time and the right part of the year, and to kind of add on to what a couple of you have mentioned, something that we've done every year for the last 6 years through our clients is help them roll out a campaign that I call the early start.
Yeah.
And it's just about getting people to start the January promo that they're going to sign up to. Sign up to it now, get from now until the start for free, but they've made the commitment now. And people, it goes nuts every year. Like we see record profits in all of our clients in December,
Yeah.
which for the fitness industry is fucked,
Yeah.
right? Most of the time. And so it's just flipping the script a little bit, not thinking like, oh, what are the trends that every year has, right? Like people might go, oh, January's big for the fitness industry. Let's wait till January. Like stuff that, right? I like to go like double hard in the hard seasons to end up breaking even, or not breaking even, being normal, and then going double hard again in January and riding the wave like everyone else will.
Yeah.
At least you capitalize on December.
Yeah.
And so I think just figuring out how can you do that in your respective market is pretty powerful. And I think it just comes down to like who you're talking to and pulling those people out.
Yeah.
Because everyone will buy in December, because some people are looking like Tina said. Like some people are like, oh, I need to take sporadic action because I haven't taken action this year.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I want to get ahead of people. Like Kerry's thinking like, how can I get ahead of people in December?
Yeah.
Right? He's sneaky and he wants to do that, so how can I talk to him?
Yeah.
So it's just about figuring that out.
Exactly, and as you say, there's people that will want to do things either like preventative or they'll want the cure. So preventative is like, let me get ahead of the damage in health and fitness I'm going to do to my body between Christmas and New Year's, and just be comatose eating ham and drinking beer, right? And then there's the people that are going to be like, I want to be ahead by next year. I want to be already doing that, or I've already committed. I can relax now because I know that come January I've got a new program I'm starting, I'm kicking off. So all of those things are hugely powerful.
Kim, sorry, I don't know if this is a good time for this question or not, but I'm
Ask
curious
away.
to get like yours and Jacob's opinion when it comes to the ads, because how do ads typically perform around Christmas?
After this week, ads kill it.
Nice.
Yeah, this weekend, up until this weekend, is quite a bit more expensive, only because people promote like crazy for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and it gets early every single year. Like people doing Black Friday like in September, right? So
Launch ads on Black Friday, great idea.
yeah, exactly. Then you'll
Monday now, Jacob.
only be happier because your costs will come down, right? So yeah. But so yes, it's expensive up until basically Monday, Tuesday. Then you'll see the costs start to coming back a bit more to normal. But it depends on the type of ad you run this time of year as well, and the offer, which we're going to cover off a little bit on. And the second is you need to manage expectations because things get busier, right? Clients' expectations are going to be different, and what a client wants and expects is going to be different at this time of year. So like it might be something like this, where you have a client expectation, but their budget is much, much lower. So you've got to make sure that you manage it to the fullest and help them understand what it's going to be like for them. So for us,
Camera down.
So for us, we know that like at this time of year, we get busier. So we have like a cutoff date for clients for launching anything new. We have to manage those expectations for people. Same if you're bringing someone in and they expect to be able to do a certain thing, or maybe you get a ton of clients coming in and you want to do a consult with them or whatever it might not be possible to be done at this time of year to the same level as normal because it's going to be busier. So you have to manage those to the fullest. But the first thing I want to talk about is recapturing and reallocation, because to go through and bring in more money is one thing, but if we can recapture and reallocate some components of what we're doing as well, even better. Because let's think about this as a scenario, right? Say that we're looking at all of our business expenses and our business as a whole, like let's make it a bit more fun and interactive. What's a profit percentage a business might have?
64%.
What did you say? 50, yeah, much easier math than 64%. Thank you. Say it was at 50%, right? That's probably that's quite a good margin for most business, especially if it was a brick and mortar, it's probably going to be much less than that, but let's say that was the case. So if we're looking at that, if we can go and recapture and reallocate some of the expenses that we already have, let's say that we're able to find $10,000 in expenses that we have, right? And we're able to eradicate them, move them, adjust them, change things around a little bit. If our margin is 50%, how much do we have to bring in new sales to make $10,000? 20K, right? And in reality, most businesses, that if they have bricks and mortar and things like that, probably maybe even closer to 20% is their margin. And at this amount, right, that's going to be closer to 50K in new sales coming in. So to add an extra if you save $10,000 from your bottom line, that's like making $50,000 in new sales, bringing that through from that side of things. So it's the perfect time, I think, as well, to go through and look, what can you recapture? What can you reallocate Doesn't mean that you have to cancel every single subscription, cancel every piece of marketing, all that sort of stuff. But just do a review. What else could you negotiate? Could you go and negotiate on your commercial lease? Could you go and negotiate on the rates that you get charged from Stripe, from all these other things? Right?
Can they?
Huh?
Can they? Stripe will negotiate.
Depends how good a negotiator you are, but yeah, and your volume. You can go and negotiate with them. Or how about this? What if you just advise clients that they pay the fee? If you go to any other place in the rest of the normal world, apart from sometimes small businesses, right? When we go and pay at the credit, like at the fuel station with a credit card, we pay the fee.
It's true.
Even in the Tesla.
Yep, even in Tesla, right? Because you have to charge and you have to put a credit card in and pay for your charge on a turbocharger, supercharger. You pay GST, right? No one gets up in arms about it. No one's walking out of the fuel station, chucking their coffee in the guy's face, being like, how dare you charge me the surcharge, right? It's there.
Yeah, fair.
So you might have $10,000 a year of processing fees that you could negotiate or bring down, or you could go and try and find an alternate provider, or that you could switch to a provider and maybe they'll be able to actually give you, you might pay the same fee, but you might get reward points like pay.com.au and things like that, right? And even those guys you can negotiate with. So everything is negotiable. So look at there and go, okay, great, we always have fixed costs and things like that, but how can we recapture and reallocate our expenses? Because going and making, like I'll show you guys strategies, if you apply, you can probably make 20, 50, 100K in sales before Christmas if you wanted to. If you want to go and push it really hard. But if you did this as well, right, and we save 10K and we do those things, that 50 becomes 100. If you go and make 50K and also save what would be 50K in recapturing and reallocation. So I would highly encourage you guys, as like, I'm not going to say for you guys to go and do that like right now and pull up your P&Ls and your bank statements and that sort of stuff, but have a think about, what am I spending money on that I could either renegotiate or that I could recapture and reallocate? I'm going to say for us, like when I was going through everything, like bank fees is a big one. So on certain providers, we can change it around and we can move it, or we can negotiate it and change and adjust it. Or we could ask many of our clients just to pay us like transfer if they wanted to. We could use many other different platforms if we wanted to do that.
One job. Hey, take it.
But as I say, I highly recommend that you do that. Or, yeah, as I say, there's many different things that you can negotiate on, depending on what you're paying, where you're doing things. If you have the capacity to pay in full for things, this is a really good time of year to get a deal for a full year subscription, which means across the year you'll save it. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, a lot of places roll out full year offers. So if you're paying for software and things like that and you have the capacity to, be like, hey, cool, I'll pay you for a year. What deal can you do me? Do me the best deal possible. And then you'll save that. It might be a little bit less now, but across the year, it'll all add up. So I highly encourage you guys to go through and have a look and set yourself a target. Again, not saying that you're going to slash things across the board, but set yourself a target. It might be 5K, it might be 10K, but figure out as well, like if everyone knows or should know what your margin is roughly for your business, and then go, great. Even if at this, if I saved $1,000, that's the same as a $4,000 sale. Right? So just take a little bit of time and set yourself a goal. Maybe it's to try and find 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 in savings that you can make, because each and every single one of those dollars adds up in the long run. Which means you could, if you want to, spend more money on marketing, spend more money on those other things. It's completely up to you guys, but I would highly encourage you to take the time and go through and do that. Does that make sense for everyone?
Yep.
Any questions on that?
Well, can you just give just to kind of get the ball rolling for our brains, can you give us like maybe just like a 10-second spiel off the top of your head of like, where would you look first? Like when you decided, you sat down at your desk, pulled out of your Tesla, looked at the hurricane in the corner, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go do some recap.
It's pronounced hurricane.
What?
It's pronounced hurricane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not a Lambo owner. But, so you walk into the office. I'm just setting a scene for everyone. Guys, come in. You sat down at your desk, you're like, I'm going to recap the TM, and you're going to look where first?
So I've done this throughout the year. So we did look at our office. So we had a space, a permanent space in a shared office. So we had all shared facilities, which is amazing. But I couldn't do all my filming in there because it wasn't quite soundproof. And we're paying a lot of money for something that was not the right level that we needed it for. So I was like, cool. And I asked the guy, and I was like, because we signed a contract, but I was like, can I change that contract? You guys are getting real busy in here. you could probably get this onto someone else. And he's like, look, what I'm happy to do, and because I was like, I love your boardrooms, I love being able to come in here for meetings and things like that. And he's like, what I'm happy to do is take the amount that you have, that you owe on your contract, we'll spread that out over our co-working agreement, might be the next 12 months. You keep the office address, you keep the shared reception, you keep all of that sort of stuff, but you go from paying $5,000 a month to $500 a month. And your contract was for 3 more months, but if you want to get out of that, we'll do that amount extended out over our co-working arrangement. And I was like, cool, that works for me because I want to keep this anyway, but I don't want to pay that amount per month, and I was probably going to stop at the end of that period anyway. So for me, I was able to recapture straight away $4.5K per month straight off the bat of that. Yes, I've got a longer commitment, but I was already going to be committing to that anyway because I wanted to keep that place. So I was able to just adjust that slightly, and then the rest of the team, because most of the time, because they've got kids and busy stuff going on, they needed to work from home a lot of days anyway. So there's some days where it's just me. So I was like, well, this is a waste. First port of call. So I was like, what am I paying for that I'm not fully using? Subscriptions is always a big one. Softwares, like we changed. I used to have the biggest plan on ClickFunnels because I had heaps of client accounts in there and all that sort of stuff, and that's $297 US a month. So I went through and I was like, cool, what can I get out of here that I don't need anymore? Because I don't need that much stuff in there. Got rid of everything and saved that down to the $97 plan. And then we got a high level now. So we got rid of Infusionsoft, which was another 200 US per month. All these other little things that added up along the way that I was able just to wipe off. And same bank fees, I was able to look at and find, as I say, we use now pay.com.au for everything, which we still have a transaction fee for, which is the same as we were paying before, but now I get frequent flyer points on everything that I do. It allows me to go, fly to Europe for $300 return business class next year. Which is the added bonus, right? Pretty handy. Which means that also next year, I was going to go there anyway. I've recaptured what would be, even at a minimum, $2,000 return flight, going to cost me $300 for the same fees that I was paying before.
I like it.
So all those just like little things that you can see what you're looking at where you can do and negotiate and adjust and dial back down a little bit if it's not getting you the best bang for buck.
Has anyone negotiated Stripe fees? Stripe fees. I think the easiest, the simplest solution is just to charge it to the client.
Yeah,
Like
just
that's the easiest way of doing it. Then there's no conversation involved.
Smack them with GST as well at the same time.
Sure. Are you registered with GST?
Not yet.
Stay away, bro.
yeah.
That's 68,000 this year. I'm having to hit it next year.
We'll delete
70 grand again.
we'll delete that part from the recording.
My subsidiary
74 again. 74 again.
But yeah, all those things that I say you can save on, you can figure out, or you can find out ways to recapture and reallocate your expenses in a different way. Like we, for example, do grants. We use EMDG grant, which is export marketing grant. So if you market your products overseas, you can get a percentage of that back as literally cash.
EMDG grant.
Yeah, EMDG, Export Marketing Development Grant. So I used to work in marketing at a grain trading company, and they did that every single year. So then when I started my business, I was like, I wonder if I can do this. And they were like, do you sell stuff overseas? And I was like, yeah. I have people that buy stuff in America and things like that. So every single marketing expense that you have, you can claim back 50% of that as a cash rebate.
What? Do you have an agent that you use for your grants?
Yeah, Simon, he's real
Could
good.
you please connect us?
Yeah, 100%.
That would be
Yeah, can
sick.
you connect me to Simon once
I
you're connected
will.
to
I
Simon?
will
Even
do that.
the thing is service-based, if you've got clients overseas.
Well, you market your Australian services to overseas clients, right? So you can claim back your marketing expenses. And then again, it's all about how you position things in your accounting file that falls under marketing or overseas people that are getting you business and things like that. Then if you go to a full, much deeper level than that, let's say that you're creating new programs, products and services and things like that. And now hopefully these guys are going to be actually a sponsor of the Mastermind next year, a really great company overseas called Prime. Pay.com.au are going to be a new sponsor with us as well. Because again, I'm like, hey, I have a thing where there's cool businesses that you want to speak to. Maybe if, do you want me to put your logo up and talk about you a little bit? They're like, yeah. And I was like, cool.
Pay me.
Would you? Yeah.
Already talking about it for free.
Yeah.
An extra
Would you-
$10 for the PowerPoint slides.
Exactly, right? But then again, I was like, but I want points. I was like, what can you do me on points?
Awesome.
And then they're like, let's negotiate. And I was like, cool. Instead of 10,000 points per referral, I want 30,000 points per referral. They said, absolutely. And then I was like, what if I give you someone that spends a lot of money? They're like, we'll give you up to 500,000 points if they spend up to this amount. I'm like, cool, I know some big spenders, right? Send Calvin to them. Millions of points. right? All coming my way. But these are all things that I was like, what else could we do? So same as I was saying before, if you're building new products and services as well, you can actually do R&D grants, research and development, if you're building something that does not exist yet. So you can actually build out and identify and find and claim back 42 cents on the dollar for every dollar you spend on research and development. And you might be building a new program, you might be building a new product.
I think the stipulation is still at least something, right? The
Yeah.
research and development, I think you have to spend over 100K. No?
There's a minimum threshold. I think it's like 30 or 40K or something. But again, it depends on what you deem to be R&D in your business. Learning from Kim Barrett might be R&D. It might be helping you generate ideas. Yeah, exactly. Experimentation. So all of these things, they're like the different ways that you can claim these things back.
You only need one client.
You don't need
US-based to be able to claim that.
You don't actually have. You can be going to find a client
That's it. And you qualify for getting 50%
for the EMDG on the expenses that you have, whether it be promotion, things like that are going to be happening. So you have to have some level of drive to bring people in from overseas, whether it be ad spend or whatever it might be, and you can claim 50% of that back
of that,
of the marketing expenses.
towards that market.
Yeah, depending on, again, how you position things. So a lot of our clients, we help them. I might talk to them about getting overseas clients 50% of the time. So our fee goes into the development for them of bringing new business into Australia. So there's many different things that you can put through. Again, once you understand what's applicable, it's up to you guys how you position things. I'm happy to talk to you guys about anything.
Financial advice.
NFA, yeah. Oh, look, what you guys say to me on our unrecorded calls is completely up to you. Kerry.
Was it 50% of the marketing only for that overseas service or product, or was it 50% of all of your marketing? Could you swing that?
I can't swing anything.
Is it possible to swing 50% of the marketing if an element of it was to go
Let me
overseas?
tell you what Kim can't because he's running the course. So if you were to pay Kim, and in the agreement you have with Kim, you were to say, hey, I only want you to consult for me on taking my online coaching business overseas, and I want all your fees to be focused on that, that's 100% claimable. If you decided you decided to go to the Maldives or Europe or America or fucking anywhere overseas, not including New Zealand, and while you're there, that's for the purpose of meeting trade partners and connecting, and you hire a boardroom in a hotel that no one shows up to, unfortunately that's not going to expand overseas. All of that's fully claimable.
Wow.
Every trip overseas, every dollar spent in marketing overseas, and if you've got people that are working with you and you can demonstrate that those people are purely hired for the purpose of helping you, and that's just a contract, for the purpose of going overseas, it's fully claimable.
Yep.
Now they'll give you 50% of up to $300,000. So you get a maximum of 150 grand. You've got to have at least 30 grand worth of expenses in the year. So you've got to spend at least 60 grand, but you're probably going to spend that money anyway. Software can be claimed, text messages can be claimed, sales stuff can be claimed, all of that can be claimed. Did you say that?
Wages for team members exploring.
If you've got people overseas, all the people overseas are fully claimable.
What about employing someone here in Australia to expand that?
You'd probably be better off, by the way, that's just gone the camera as well. You're better off to probably have that person as a subcontractor, but a subcontractor can claim.
Yeah.
Subcontractor.
So, and again, negotiate with any suppliers and if you ask them to report on what they're doing for you, how it's based on the US.
The bigger play, the AMDG is great, but it's realistically you're only getting about 30 to 45 grand of them on back, and it's a capped market. The bigger opportunities in the R&D. We've just submitted an R&D grant for last year, and I'm new to R&D. We're going to get over $200,000 back. That's from one grant from the conversation that Kim had. So, that opportunity. People think of R&D in terms of like designing something, right? But if you're doing messenger ads or bots, or you're testing a new way of coaching clients, or you're experimenting with GPT for sales scripting, or how do I find a way to teach clients how to use ChatGPT to scan their food and calculate the macro calories on that for my nutrition coaching. All of that, you only need one primary thing, which is considered to be a core activity, which has to be experimental, right? And the rest of the stuff can be pulled together. So we plan percentage of office and staff and salaries and everything. So like literally, we're putting in an application that just got submitted, $400,000. We'll have $200,000 back just from that. And that was a retrospective last year. So you can claim the R&D grant for last financial year, provided you haven't already submitted your financial tax returns.
Yeah.
How
There's,
much time did it take you to pull all that together? Like, maybe just
yeah. Well, as I
just
say,
hire that
Give them in a
person that
mic.
Kim says.
yeah. I just introduced you to Simone at Prime.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So are these open grants or do they have time periods or?
EMDG has a time period and is capped. R&D, there's only been one person who has ever been pulled up on it and gone too much, and he was building race cars. I think he spent 15 million in a year.
The cap for R&D is unfortunately 150 million. So if you spend more than that, they won't give you any.
Yeah. So don't let Ken.
You're under 150 million.
Yeah. Don't let Ken go anywhere too close to your spending on that one. But as I say, there's the reason why I want to give you guys these is because there's so many alternate ways that you can use to generate things. We'll get into the lead stuff as well because that's also going to be fun and cool stuff that we can do. But as I say, even with R&D, then what you can do is there's companies that will advance you your R&D grant. So they'll give it to you now. You don't have to wait till the end of the year.
Wow.
And then you spend more of that money on R&D and then you advance it again. And so there's a lot of things that you can do when you just know what's out there. Unfortunately, and Cal and I were talking about this the other day, so you can't just go anywhere and be like, hey, how's all the ways that my business can get extra like cash and like apart from coming to events like this? There's not really a way, and even accountants, they won't tell you if it's applicable. You have to come with them with the right question to be able to enable them to give you the answer that's going to do it. And it's just like, luckily that I get exposed to a lot of different stuff that I get to kind of come across a few of these.
Semi-shady.
No, not shady at all. That's all legit. Well, again, unless I worked in a grain trading company, I wouldn't know you could do EMDG.
Yeah, right. So Simon from Prime.
No, Simone.
Simone.
Yeah. I will connect
All
you.
those sides you'll love it.
Yeah, I'll connect you with her. Don't worry. So, as I said, I'll leave that with you guys. Think about that. Bring some of that into your business. But next we want to get into some lead gen, some other activities that you guys can do to make some money straight away as well. So the first thing I want to do is to get everyone clear on the differentiation. Again, you don't have to differentiate like this. It may not be how you want to think about it, but the difference between leads, customers, and clients. Does anyone want to hazard a guess at the difference?
Yeah, I'll have a crack.
Go for it, bro.
Leads are people you can contact about buying your stuff. Customers buy your stuff. Clients buy your stuff actively and continue to buy your stuff.
Close.
Ooh.
So yes, leads are inquiries. They're people that you can have the conversation with. They have a level of interest, right? Customers pay you a little bit of money. Might be your low ticket, your first thing. Like some people will classify customers as maybe someone that comes to an event with you, even if it was a free event, and spends a few hours, like invests either a lot of time or a little bit of money. And then clients are the ones that spend and purchase your higher tier products and services. So for us, again, like getting clear on this through, no, I won't talk about that yet, but that's how we want you guys to think of and differentiate, because a lot of people, like for example, Ashley for her business, she can't take on any clients because she's super booked out and done and full, right? But she could potentially go and get more customers, people buying something that might be a little bit cheap from her, something that might help them and give them value, and then they're in her ecosystem. Or she could go and focus on leads. So when I go through these next things, I want you guys to think about like, where am I sitting at the moment? Do I need more clients? If I'm full of clients and I can't really take on any more, maybe I need some more customers. So that's why we rolled out a Black Friday campaign. I wasn't going to do one. Then I was like, I'll chuck one together, right? And see what happens. And we got a little bit of money. I think we've made like $600-700 so far, but that's $600 or $700 that I wouldn't have made anyway, because I wasn't going to send it out. But now I also have 4 new customers that are sitting in here that are going to be going through my stuff, that I can then talk to about becoming a client, or Ken can talk to them.
You only made your code work on the pay in full. That was dirty.
Huh?
Your Friday code only worked on the paid in full.
Did you test my form?
What?
Did you test my form for me?
Yeah, I sussed it out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't let me apply the code to the I wanted to split pay.
You're on the split pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have asked.
Should have negotiated.
Yeah, exactly. So my next question is going to be for you guys. How many offers is enough to put out there in the marketplace? Until they buy.
It's just got to be one clear good offer.
Yeah, one clear good offer. Making offers.
Volume or number of offers?
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
Because what most people say is like, I already offered that. I already promoted that. I already talked about that. I already put that out there. I already did that. So the actual answer is yes. the limit does not exist. You can make offers every single day. I did this 2 years ago where every day, I called it Kimmas of Christmas, right? I made an offer or a re-offer or a new offer every single day. Got to day like 7 and then someone was like, oh, I didn't know you had a mastermind. I'd love to be a part of the mastermind. And I was like, how did you not know? Like, really, how is that possible? But people don't see everything that you put up every single day. So a lot of people get nervous. They're like, oh, making so many offers, right? The worst thing that's going to happen is, especially even on email, people are going to unsubscribe. That's the worst that's going to happen. Or they'll unsubscribe in an aggressive way, which means that we just need to get a few more leads in. Yeah, exactly. I've never seen someone, I don't know how people get so angry about unsubscribing, right? But we have like a 12,000 person database. So every day, like I can send an email out to them. I can send out to a certain portion of them. I can send more and more and more in every day. And again, if they unsubscribe, great. Only 30% of people open my emails at the very top end. So there's still 70% that haven't. So I can still consistently make offers as many as I want. So my recommendation going into this period is don't cap yourself. I mean, I spoke about that already. I already told them about that. I already posted about that. I already emailed about that, right? I said I sent an email out to test our form that was so good that Claire thought she had to put her credit card in to test it for me. And I was like, no, Claire, it's okay. You don't have to buy it. It's fine. But I sent 2 on the same day. One that had a promo code, so I got them to test that as well, and one that was just for them to test the page. But like again, before some people might have been like, oh, I can only send 1 email in a day. The second email did way better. The first, someone still bought at full price, and I was like, Ken, can you call them? Because they're about to get a promo code for 50% off. I don't want them to get upset, but I'll be able to help her with something else. So don't worry about sending too many. Again, the worst thing that's going to happen is people will unsubscribe. So we want to create an action plan for each platform that we're going to use, right? So I'm going to go through a few, but what platforms do you guys think that you could use to promote on going into Christmas?
All the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, so we've got Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok.
Just your CRM.
Yeah, your emails.
I reckon like, if we're talking about in relation to leads, clients, customers, I actually think like sometimes this time of year some weird shit like mail.
Direct mail?
Like direct mail, like long email.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like, especially if you're talking about getting like say customers going to clients, things like that.
Yeah, 100%. I love direct mail. I love signing up stuff where I get stuff in the mail.
Also referrals, collaborations, cross promotions.
Yeah. JVs, referrals. So for me, there's like about 4 or 5 people that have very similar sized database to me that always want to look at how we can help each other. And so at least 2 to 3 times a year, we always go, hey, what have you got that we can bring people into? Like again, it's generally going to be a lead that comes through. It's not going to necessarily be customers because we don't have that level of connection with their audience just yet, but that always works really, really well. So now, what I'd probably say is that for most of you, pick, like if you don't, who here has an email list by show of hands? No? All right, if you don't, this is your sign to get one.
If they're cold.
Even if they're cold. Right? So email is 100% one that everyone needs to do. If you have an email list. If you don't have an email list, start an email list. Just get some subscribers. Then I want you guys to look at 3 or 4. One other one that you guys haven't put on here, YouTube. I don't know if anyone said that, but YouTube is going to be definitely a good one as well. But I would pick 3 to 4 that you're personally going to focus on and say this is going to be 100% one that you're going to focus on. Then whichever ones are your, because again, we don't want to distill our energy at this time of year either. We don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to post on everything because you guys will do it once or twice, maybe 3 times, and you'll get tired. So wherever you have the biggest and best followings, because as well, I didn't put that as your like, we want to have a primary focus, right? And then we'll have a secondary. Secondary is going to be email. But you do want to have one primary, which is your biggest and busiest, that you'll get the most engagement on, because that's going to tie into what we do with email, right? Which we'll talk about after lunch. But I want you guys to identify and write down what's going to be your primary focus, what's going to be your secondary, because I'm going to go through all of them and give you a few things you can do on each that you could do regularly, and then I'm going to give you the actual resource of like what to post, how to post it, etc. Now these are all things that I've used. The worst performing one made $5,000. Best performing one has been into 6 figures and beyond and keeps performing every single time that I post it.
When you say this, are you talking about the platform, the offer on the platform?
The offers and strategy, like the way they're structured, all of them have been tested. Worst performer, because I only have just recently tested it, made about 5K. The rest have all made lots and lots and lots.
Beta test on everything, eh?
That's one of them. We've got a few others though, just in case.
Thinking about launching a new program, but before I do, I need to figure out the bumps.
Exactly. You got to figure out what I want to roll. So on Facebook, these are the different avenues that you can go down for Facebook from a regularity standpoint, if that's yours. Yeah, and I'll give you guys slides and stuff as well, but please feel free to take photos. Tag me at Real Canberra.
Don't share it. Bye, beta.
Yeah, exactly. Top secret. So on your personal profile, one of the things I really like is you can tag at followers. So if you have a personal profile, right, you can tag your followers. However, if you change it to a professional profile, all of your friends become followers. So you can tag more people. Because everyone can follow you if you have a personal profile. If you change it to a professional profile, then everyone that is a friend becomes a follower. So they'll get a notification when you tag at followers.
When you say professional profile, you don't mean business page?
No. So this is still your normal personal profile. You change it to a professional profile, and you can then also run ads on it. Hence why I've got and ads. If you're asking that question, it's probably not. Because you have to go in and change it over.
You have to change it in the settings.
Yeah, and that's also, you can go through and also get verified, use that same process and add a few extra layers. Yeah, Connor.
I have heard that running ads on the personal profile is being done organically. Is that a thing or is that just still
So guys just listening in, Connor's just said if you run ads on your personal profile, it can hurt reach down the line. I haven't seen that to be the case yet on myself, and I've tested a few different angles with it, but it 100% is worth doing. I wouldn't say that everyone has to do ads, but if you have a post that goes off and does super well, and you have it as a professional profile, I would 100% promote it because you're going to get more followers from it anyway. If you have a Facebook group, and then obviously you can be, a lot of people get annoyed by it, frustrated sometimes, at everyone. I just want everyone to know, and I'm like, hey, if you don't like it, turn off notifications.
Like you joined that group, why?
Exactly, you join my group to get cool stuff from me. Still posting on your Facebook business page, 100%, is going to give you good reach. Reels tend to do the best still, so I'd recommend whatever you're using anywhere else, still post it to your business profile, use that as well. And then of course ads, you could do, and I'll show you guys a couple of different versions of this later on, power offer, beta test, lead gen, or an SLO can also work very well if you want to get more customers rather than clients in the door also.
Can you target the ads on your personal profile to just your followers and friends so that more people see it?
Yes, you can, yeah.
That's new. Isn't that new?
A couple months old, yeah, but it's relatively new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtags or no hashtags, Kim, on Facebook?
On your business page, I would say you can have, especially when you're putting reels and stuff, hashtags can work quite well. But on your personal profile, has no, even if it's professional, has no extra reach or anything like that. So, yeah.
Well, with regards to Insta at the moment, hashtags in the post or in the comment actually?
You might know better than me actually on that.
Just experiment with both and
I have the answer.
yeah.
It's so funny you ask this because I actually went to, there's a guy named Harry that is like the Instagram goat apparently. Harry, the Instagram goat, I think is his handle if you want to check him out. The zillion followers, and he said absolutely pointless in the comments. Now I'm not saying he's right.
When did you see this?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
he's
it's just like
100% right, but when he's like considered the GOAT and he didn't say like, oh, I think it's less effective. He said useless. So
Yeah.
I'll find his profile and send it
Is
to
he who claimed him as a goat though? Just
Well, I mean, he's got 100
self-proclaimed.
followers. He's my neighbour.
Yeah.
I am. It's my
Hashtag
family.
and my friends still showed up in the hashtags, so.
Yeah. I haven't seen any difference in mine. I've tested a few as well.
And that's the goal, right? Have it show up, so.
Yeah.
You already have to
You got the blue tick, okay?
Now for Instagram, guys, Instagram next channel, broadcast channels, I think can still be really effective. Reels, stories, posts. profile visit ads, which is something new that you can access now via Ads Manager and Business Manager. Previously, you could only do that inside of Instagram. So you click promote a post and then push it out, and it drives people to your profile. So if you have your profile set up for success, then you can actually generate more followers, more inbound inquiry. Now, as I said,
huge.
yeah, it's epic.
Huge.
And then there's a, yeah, I'll tell you guys that as well. But so this one is you can do it from directly inside Instagram, choose an audience, custom audience, promote it out. Matt's doing really good with this at the moment. And then also you could add in a DM strategy with that, where you're DMing everyone that engages, contacts, interacts with you. Now, there are some, I like to sometimes find shortcuts if they are there. My organic reach actually got shot to the floor anyway because 2 people thought they were doing me a favor, trying to get me to buy their service, sent me a whole bunch of fake followers. So I have about probably 15 or 20,000 fake followers that this person sent me as part of their service to show that they could do it. I was like, I didn't want that service anyway. So my reach is through the floor. So I can't tell you if this other thing has any effect on that or not. I haven't seen it to be anything detrimental, but there are platforms that can go and automatically love and like other people's stories for you, which then drives more views to you as well. It's an automated process, and I haven't tested it for anyone that is like...
There's that Chrome extension that does it. Jose gave me the link to it, but I never used it.
Yeah, so...
There's heaps out there. Pepper, Genius, they can all do it.
Yeah.
I've used it,
but it is not good
time
for it. It's
ago.
not. I was told to do it from not your actual profile. That's what he said. He said set up a fake profile, have the Chrome extension on there, because it can flag you, and then it can...
Yeah, so I haven't seen it be a negative detriment, but it definitely drives a ton of people to my profile. But I also use it on my own followers. So I put myself in there, and it goes and engages with everyone that's a follower of mine's stories. Goes and likes them, loves them, etc., which then drives them back to my profile and circle around as well. So again, if you wanted to...
I know.
Sorry?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me. I don't even follow you on there, bro. I'm sorry. But
My Facebook said...
yeah, all my platforms
That
are.
was an engagement strategy, I reckon.
Literally. I'm like, I don't know it's you.
I don't reckon he was even shut down.
But this is what I recommend for Instagram. So there are all the places that you can post. On TikTok, lives, videos, carousels, all of those work equally as well. If that's one of the ones that you're going for, 100% would do all of those. YouTube, videos, shorts, your overall profile. Most people don't have their actual YouTube profile set up, and they don't have a good banner, they don't have a good intro video. And if someone goes to your profile for the first time, the other benefit is that your intro video starts playing straight away. So there's a spot on your profile. So if you can do that and have a good introduction video that breaks things down, that to me is very, very powerful. There's also a description where you can give them a call to action, which might be to go and follow you somewhere else, which might be to get, if you're not getting leads already, to go and download your free thing to get something else. But your overall profile on YouTube, again, is a spot that is very poorly used by most people. You've got a banner, you've got a video, you've got text that you can have. I'd highly recommend everyone go and just audit your own if you haven't already. And then YouTube ads as well. One of my buddies, Charlie, would say that YouTube ads is the place to be at the moment. Sorry?
What did you say?
YouTube ads?
YouTube, place to be.
Yeah, is the place to be. So you can do some really cool ads on there as well, which can drive subscribers. There's subscriber-based ads you can push. There's a whole range of different things you can do. You can do lead ads, you can do video views, anything that you want basically you can do on YouTube as well as every other platform. So then these are the strategies that you can apply on all of these, right? So number 1 is going to be the beta test post. Number 2 is the power offer. Number 3 is build in public. Number 4, open and close. Number 5, audience grab.
Is this what YouTube?
Any of these platforms.
Build it in public. Sounds cool. Are you going to dive into these, or are these just teasers? Are these
No, it's just teasers.
So
Figure them all out for yourself.
for the next 12 days of Christmas, it's like, okay, do you guys now want that script?
Yeah.
Now that you know the first 2 words of the strategy,
Yeah, exactly.
do you like the Google Doc?
If this wasn't a mastermind, I'd maybe do that. But a mastermind means you get everything. So that's the benefit. So as I said, beta test post, patent pending, TM. Leverage the law of reciprocity. So if you scan that, that'll give you the exact script and process to follow for the beta test. As I said, this is not ever failed me. I've never had it fail.
It's very trusty.
So I'd highly recommend this one because again, it starts, and there's people that have taught this and tried to teach it and somewhat bastardized it a little bit, but it starts in a certain way because it starts in a certain way. Like that's how it should start, which is I need a favor, right? We're building in the law of reciprocity. We helped, unfortunately he can't be here because he's going to be going in for surgery any day now, but my cousin John launched his fitness business with this exact post, and he's got 33 weekly paying clients now. Straight off, all he did was leverage one of these. So I said the framework works. So don't change it too much. Keep it relatively the same, and it will work. This, as I said, yeah, please do.
Take action on half of the things you say, but then blame for 100% of the lack of results that I got.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's my desire. Yeah. So this is, as I say, this works every time. You can also use this as an ad. You can do this as a video on TikTok. You can do it as a carousel on TikTok. You can do it as a video on YouTube. So this can be posted on every single channel.
Has it worked on LinkedIn?
Yes, it has worked on LinkedIn. Yeah, again, you got to make sure you got to basically doing what you were doing. At the end of like a week of doing that, I would post that. Yeah, 100%.
So as long as I've done that and engaged with these people, etc., then post it.
Yeah, 100%. Who is, sorry?
Yeah, I was going to say the beta test thing, excuse me, lead gen thing. Obviously, I'm attracting clients that are on retainer basis, right? So I don't want to be like, hey, here, beta test this, and for the next 15 years, you only pay me half the price.
No, so yeah.
Do it in regards to create like a low ticket offer and then use that as like.
You could still do it as. You don't have to go with the 50% off. I think the example has 50% off.
Yeah.
It could be with an added bonus. It could be with a discount from what you might price it at in the future.
Okay.
Because if you were consulting with me and you told me your prices were $1,000, I'd say your prices are too low, charge 2.5, and your new 50% off price is $1,250.
Okay. Yeah.
As an example.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be, but it does work for retainer clients, and you just got to slightly adjust what the little hook is about, and it's only X, or you get, and I'm going to give you X, which for you might be, and you get the rest. Yeah, exactly. You get Christmas covered at at no additional cost or something like that. Yeah. Cool. Does anyone else have their question on that one? No? Cool. Next. Oh, sorry. Power offer. Very specific offer with call to action. Again, this is from one of my buddies, Joel Irway. I've tweaked it a little bit. Again, pretty much works every single time. It's a very specific offer. So there's a little bit of a questionnaire at the top of that, which is like, you need to answer that first to give you the data and information to put into the post. But again, it works very, very well. Very, very well.
You said that all these strategies will also work with ads.
Yeah.
This one works really good with ads.
This one kills it with ads.
We should.
Yeah. 100%. Beta test works with it. Power offer works with it.
Sorry.
Really, really, sorry. Get out of the way.
We actually just hopped in.
I thought you were all taking photos of me. I was like,
I'll take a video.
Strike a pose. At the real Kim Barrett.
So as I say, this one works phenomenally well. All you need to know is their fears and frustrations. And again, we did this the other day with our cricket coach. He got phenomenal results with it. Just by again, just slightly changing how you position it, because both of these, the beta test and this one, are for getting clients. You could use it to get customers, but it's really for getting clients. And again, you can post it quite regularly. A lot of times people go, what should go along with it? If you're using Facebook or Instagram, I like to do a natural photo. So not like an offer, like I'm making an offer photo. Something natural that you would normally post in your feed works absolutely best.
Selfie?
Is it, do you normally post selfies?
I haven't been recently, but.
If it's something you've posted before, definitely.
Beta test works really well with selfies, especially if you can, believe it or not, I've tested it. If you can see your arm in the selfie, like if you are this detailed, like it's like I just wrote this, I wanted to put something together, I just wrote this, I've just taken a photo, sitting at my desk with a little bit of context in the background for the PTs we run it with. I always get them to take it in the gym. I ripped this post off Kim like 2 years ago. I've been running it ever since.
Yeah, reclaim all of my commissions from Jacob.
We have a KPI within 14 days, every new client has to do that post. And this is true. And if you're like an online coach or something digital, like take a selfie in front of your computer. It works. Like every client have done it.
Did you say there were beta tests?
The beta test ones, yeah.
Yeah. The only other,
like
the,
sausages or legs.
yeah, the other ones I've seen work really well is holding, because I always say to them, like, sometimes it'll be like, and at the end we're gonna like have a celebratory drink, so a glass of wine or a beer, something like that has worked quite well. It works as well if it looks weird. We did one recently, and for some reason the beer looked real small in my hand, and everyone was commenting about my. Yeah, everyone's like, "Is that the smallest beer? Do you have the world's biggest hands?" And I was like, "Bit of both."
My screen was
Yeah.
dirty on my laptop. Like I did that, my screen was dirty, and like 1 million people were like, "Your screen is filthy."
Yeah, exactly. You got to do what gets the engagement. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for pushing my reach. Yeah. So go and get a dirty screen or a beer that's in a tiny cup. Build in public. Again, this is one that works really, really well, especially if you're someone who coaches. If you're looking to help people achieve financial success, this can work very well where you're telling them what you're doing and they're watching to see you do it. So for example, like Nina, Jacob, Cal, Connor maybe even as well, might be something around, it's like, cool, we're gonna make 50K before Christmas because everyone tells us that they can't. And I'm gonna show you the whole process along the way and how we do it.
Can you do that with fat loss as well?
Well, I was gonna say, you definitely could do it for stuff, but as you're going through, you'd wanna be going, like, cause you've been posting a little bit, or you were previously on TikTok about your like lead up to the training and stuff like that, right?
Like 2 months ago.
Yeah, so you posted like a little bit in the lead up, but I would be all the trials and tribulations along the way and be like, hey, because you're running it, right? It's like, hey, I'm running a half Ironman in December. I've trained about an hour, and I'm going to show you guys in the lead up, like what food I'm eating, how I'm training, so you can show them training every day and things like that. And be like, hey, if you want to achieve something like this, why don't you come along and try a session at Bolt? Come along and train with me or something like that. So you can also still showcase, but all it does is people go, I want to achieve the outcome that you're trying to achieve.
I do this with all my clients.
Yeah, it works extremely well because it shows authenticity, it shows that you're a real person and they build a relationship with you along the way. So it might be like, cool, I'm on the way to generating X, Y, Z. Like you could do it as well, Brennan, for yours, what your goal is and things like that. Some people don't like to talk about it in public, which is absolutely fine. You don't have to, but as I say, if you do it, it just allows people to buy into you even more. Because there's so much competition for everything now, it's like the only thing that really separates for us, for most people, is who we are and what we do. Right? Otherwise...
Example of this.
I guarantee there's a QR code on the next slide.
They're,
Can you share my example, Kim?
yeah.
So who asked the question?
Right.
Right. Yeah, I remember. So for example, I help my clients make sales. Right? So when a client signs up with me, I call it a coming out post. And it's literally a selfie with them, like with pattern interrupt. So they're like they're making a face to make people stop scrolling on social media. And it's like, OMG, or what the fuck, or like, OMG, I just shit myself. And on the post, it's them talking about the fact that they've just invested into themselves. And I also tell them they can tag me if they want to get more exposure, so it's also great for my social media as well. And they're pretty much, they go through a bit of a process in the script, which I always double check. And it pretty much just says, this is the fear I was going through, I had to pull myself out of my own bullshit, and then I decided I'm over this, I need help, which is what they're looking for with their clientele. If you would like to come on this journey with me, here's a free session, comment or DM, a very, very clear call to action. Comment or DM yes for details. Like I've got one client that just did this, she's booked in 11 sales calls.
So that would work for Jade.
Yeah, would also work for you. So you could be like, hey, I've been trying for the last year to get my offer right for my clients. I work with buyers agents and people in property. And what I found that every time I had my offer like this, it didn't work. And I tried ads, DMing, everything, and it didn't quite work. I came back and put in a lot of effort because I wanted to really hit some big goals for next year. And then what I found was if I repositioned my offer slightly, and these are the two offers that I have, this one and this one, it started working much more effectively. The conversations were better, and none of them have converted just yet, but just me changing my offer slightly has enabled me to have better conversations to drive better sales. Because what you're also doing in that is you're also showcasing what your offers are. And people are like, oh, maybe that's why my ads haven't been working, is because my offer's not right as a buyer's agent or whatever it might be. Oh, and there's the 2 packages that he has. Amazing. Like, maybe I should take him up on one of those. Works very, very well as well, and I've filmed most of it. I've just got to get it edited and posted for my YouTube intro. So I'm going to be doing that and talking about how we're wanting to bring more people into Mastermind. We're having like Metropolis as our base, which is going to have a ton of amazing people, and then we've got the Mastermind people can come along to. This is exactly what the pricing is for it. This is exactly what people get for it. And we're going to have 100 people in there by middle of next year. This is the price we're going to go along with. As everyone watches that, they're going to know that we only have 100 spots available. They're going to know what the pricing is. They're going to know that we're building towards it. And there's going to be a bit of me in there, a bit of my story, things like that. So they're going to be like, cool. If they watch that video, they're going to either like me or not like me.
Okay. Yeah.
But I also have already positioned so that they can go and buy my thing straight away.
It's also present right now, right? People get FOMO and they're like, oh, I want to know what you're doing and I want to be part of it. And it's also you're walking the talk. It's like, oh, you're up leveling. I want to up level. Let's do it together.
Yeah, 100%. So it works very, very, very well. So I recommend that for sure. The other is opening and closing. So most people should have at some point in time a limit on your offer. I have a certain amount of people coming in, and then opening and closing. And one of my friends and mentors does this very, very well. Like pretty much with every email, he will open and close. He'll be like, cool, I'm at spots like 76 of 100. So if you want to get in, you better get in quickly. But he will then sometimes just close in. So I'm closing intakes for a couple of weeks until I decide to do otherwise. Then he'll open again. And people know from last time, okay, he's legit because he opens and closes it. He does, he messages like, oh, you can be on the wait list until I open it. It might be the following week, it might be a day later, but he will open and close it quite regularly. But he also has the limit on there. He's like, cool, it's gonna be 100, or it's gonna be 50, or it's gonna be 8. And he even does this inside his like mid-tier products and programs. He will open the spot for like 10 people and be like, cool, I have 6 people already, and I'll take 10 to a higher level where we'll do even better stuff. If you want to hang out with me and these people, let's do that. This is going to be our extra high tier. And people just go crazy to it. So you're identifying what the limit's going to be, setting the date, speak to it, and then open and close the doors. So same for our like Black Friday offer. It's like people can buy it after, but the offer is only discounted until end of Monday. Then you can buy it at full price if you want, but that's when that opportunity closes. That code literally will expire. Yeah.
Your Black Friday offer, how does that tie into, like I just want to know what thought, when you sat down at your desk, what thought did you put into that offer and how that kind of flows downstream to where you actually want these people? Because I'm sure you don't really care about $150, all that often, right? You obviously know it leads somewhere.
I'm just getting customers. Yeah. I want as many people as possible, and I used to not worry about this, and I'll go through this in the email section and I'll show you guys a full email campaign structure that you can use, and if you want the exact one, I'll give it to you as well. But I just want to build more and more people that have already transacted with us as a customer base to then ascend into clients, because every time they purchase, we also get their phone number. So I want to make sure that's the case so that we can follow up with them. But also at the end of my offer on the bottom of the page is it's like, hey, if you want to do more stuff, and then eventually I'll embed that video once it's done as well, which is the video that talks to, here's this thing that we're doing, message us, get back to us, and if there's spots available, you'll be able to take them as well. So it's to build them through, but it's already to get people transacting with us that, again, otherwise these other people have been on our list for maybe a year, 2 years, or 3 years. And this one of the ladies Ken spoke to a ton of times, but now she just paid us $300. So we're moving her closer because as part of the product that she's purchased, she has to speak to me for like a couple hours. You all right? Come on in. You guys are just at the back over here. This is Paris and Kate.
What do you want to get out of the next couple of days? I think we're covering time management next.
Savage, bro. Oh.
Yeah.
These guys advise us in advance that they were not going to be able to come early. So just chillax a little bit, all right? And then you have audience grab, which is the same as the original slide. But audience grab is not any of those things. It's basically a way for you to get more leads rather than customers or clients. It's a way for you to accelerate the number of leads. So it's something where you can be like, hey, here's something cool that I have. It's free. Inquire, register your interest. Let's have a conversation. Anything around like, especially we found like when we reference for us, ChatGPT and things like that goes crazy because everyone wants to know a different hack or something to do with that. Ours is always based on ads. So it builds us a lot of inquiry very, very, very fast. So we have a lot of conversations. But what you can also do, and what I found to work very, very well, is something that's like side or parallel to what you do that will identify the right person, but it's not anything specific to what I would normally teach or anything like that. So what I mean by that, to give you a full example, is I did a post about point hacking. right? And how if you're spending more than $10,000 a month, how you could fly to Europe, return, business class for like $300 if you wanted to, right? And have points still to do whatever you want along the way. And every time I post about that, I get a ton of people messaging me and be like, oh my God, I spend more than $10,000 a month. How could I leverage that? And they don't have to spend 10K, but like that's just the limit, because then if they spend 10,000, they get points, I get points, there's a bunch of bonuses. But it opens up conversations with people that are in business, that are spending money already, that we might be able to help. Maybe we can do marketing, maybe they want to come to the mastermind and learn some cool stuff. But it's like side or parallel to what I would normally talk about, which is just Facebook ads, marketing, business growth. But it's something where they go, oh, I want that. And it's the same category of person that I would normally want to talk to.
I guess that's the piece that I was missing, because I thought about this heaps, because I stalk the crap out of you. I find you a very interesting person. And I'm just like, why does he post weird shit every now and again?
Yeah.
Like, not that everything has to be on topic, but I'm like, cool, Singapore and point hacking, I love it, right? And I find it's funny, because like I was subject to it, and I was like, fuck, that's interesting. And I messaged you, I was like, bruh, hook me up with some points, right?
Every time everyone does. And look, I get the benefit, because if I introduce them to pay.com.au, and they use the same platform as me.
You're the smart guy.
But I get points, they get points. So I get a benefit that way if they use it. And I got over 250 messages when I did it the first time. So I had 250 leads that I got to put in. I put them into platforms so that they could see it, they could watch it, and they could go through the training and get all the links.
So you're pivoting, that's the top
Pivoting.
I'm a point hacker now. No.
He's now an investor in pay.
They're partners and sponsors for next year. But it's enabled us to go, hey, this is something that people are interested in, that are in business, that maybe they wouldn't open a conversation with me about if I was like, here's my free Black Friday guide or my Facebook ad guide or something like that. It's what I talk about in the realm of business, but it's something that's quite interesting for people. Yeah. And that's why I still post about it. And like when I booked my flights the other day, I did a post about it on my stories, and then people were like, what? Oh my God, like how's this work? And like 3 people that spend a lot of money messaged me, and they're like, how do we do this? They're like, do you do? I was like, I don't do this, but these guys do. But let me introduce you, because they're going to spend a lot of money, and I want the points that will go along with that. So,
that's nuts.
But that brings them back into the world, because then I'm the trusted advisor, right? I'm going, you should speak to these guys. Hence also what we talked to you guys about before with Prime. I'm like, people that speak to Simone that go through me, I'm like, cool, they love it. Who connected them with Simone? Kim did. I'm building my brownie points.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You've done it quite well. Like I feel like every time I come up with something, I'm like, oh, this seems like a cool little thing. I wonder what Kim has to say about it, right?
Yeah. Because for me, it's always like, it's dig your well before you're thirsty, right? It's a great book that I read when I was much younger, and it's like always just like consistently do things of value before you're thirsty. So then when I put out a post, call to action post, people have already got tons of value from me all the time. So for example, in this next period of time when I make tons of offers, people are not going to be like, oh, Kim only makes offers. Like, oh, here's the guy that told me about R&D, about EMDG, about this, about that, about point hacking. Like, maybe I should chat and see what else he's got there. So for me, it's like I always want to tip the scales in my favor for brownie points, for providing value, for helping people, because there may come a day when I have to cash them in. And even if I cash them in, I still want surplus. Much like my frequent flyer points. I want a high volume of them.
I like it.
So that's what I said, audience grab. It can be direct, it can be something very specific, or it can be something that's semi alongside, but not exactly what you normally talk about, but that will bring people out, right? That will bring people that are entrepreneurs or business people and things like that. So, you might just do like so many people I've seen have like taken things that I've shared with them and then go and share it with their audience, which is not something they would normally talk about, but then they get the benefit of leveraging my skills and experience, and that brings people to them that are interested in that for other parallel services and things like that. Make sense for everyone? Mm-hmm. Cool. How am I going for time?
Oh, you're well over now. We finished at 12.
Yeah.
12:30.
Yeah, that's perfect, because next is implementation, right?
Yeah. And then implementation.
I like you, keep going.
Keep talking, because the next few things that we'll talk about after, which I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much bang on, is going to be email, which is I'm going to give you guys sequences on and whatnot as well. So what we'll do now is have lunch for just a little bit. I was distracted. Paris and Kay got here, threw me all off. is we'll have lunch for, like, we'll have a tighter lunch so that you guys have got a bit more time. I know we're good for implementation. That's cool. We're gonna have a break now for lunch, about 20 minutes or so. So please help yourselves, enjoy, connect and chat. And PS as well, please do open your gifts